Adam here with Brooksaw Antiques. Today we have this 1970 Olympia SM9 vintage portable typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Are arguably one of the best typewriters ever produced, considered the Mercedes-Benz of typewriters, and I would compare this with the Hermes 3000, the Olivetti Latero 32, and the Adler J5. Up top is the adjustable paper guide. This helps you guide the page in straight. I'm going to line that up with the edge of the platen, which is the main roller that feeds the paper. And this is your left margin. I'm going to set that on 0 and the right one around 70. That's about the length of a page. And this is the paper support arm that flips up from the back like a switchblade and extends. I'm going to keep it on the lower extension. And this is the paper bale that sits on top. It's got 2 adjustable rollers and a scale. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. Hit this line space, gets you back to the beginning, and skips 1, 1.5, or 2 spaces. Right now we have it on single, but if you want 1.5, just flip this switch forward. It skips 1.5. One more, it skips 2. That works good. We're going to keep that on single for now and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence in red on the next line and switch from black to red. There's a switch on the right side here. Flip that all the way down to the orange indicator. It prints the bottom portion of the ribbon. When you have it in the middle, it doesn't print any ink at all. It just leaves a stencil for copying purposes. When you have it up top, it prints the top portion of the ribbon, which is black. We're going to move that down for red. Absolutely beautiful typing machine. One of my favorites of all time. It's probably the most durable typewriter ever produced, with all the best parts. The print looks beautiful. It's perfect. Just made out of some of the best parts you can find, and it's just super durable. Everything's made out of metal. It's very heavy. I'm gonna flip this down for now so I can show you the bottom. And it's a really nice condition. Look at all those parts. They just look almost brand new, but you can see the quality. So really highly regarded typewriter in Western Germany engineering. To pull the page out easy, there's a switch on the right side here. You flip it forward and it unlocks the rollers underneath the platen, allowing you to pull the page out easier, load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page, or else it won't load correctly. So comparing this with the Hermes 3000, this has a heavier touch, a little bit heavier, more powerful feeling touch to it. The Hermes 3000 is a bit smoother and lighter touch. The Olivetti Latero 32 is way smaller, much smaller and compact, and it's smoother. The lightest touch of all the luxury ones, I would say. And the Adler J5 is the smoothest out of all of them, but they're not as durable because they usually have a plastic shell. Okay, shift on each side and a shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. Backspace on the right side of the keyboard. Very smooth. You can just tell it's been tuned up. It's nice, very nice and smooth. MR on the left side stands for margin release. When you get to the end of the margin, there's a mechanism that blocks you from printing, but if you hit that MR button, it does allow you to go all the way to the end. That works good. We're going to move the color selector back to black. And tab on the top right, this is the difference between the SM9 and the SM8, is that you can set the tabs on the SM9 on the keyboard. On the SM8, they're manually set on the back side of the carriage. Right now we have tabs set on 10 space intervals. You can see it stops at each one of those. To clear all those tabs, there's a switch on the right side of the carriage here. You just flip it down like that and it'll clear all those tabs. It's got a really good drag, but I usually like to set at least one tab in the middle so that way when you hit that tab button on your typewriter, it doesn't go slamming all the way to the end, causing wear and tear. So to set a tab, we just flip this to the plus sign on that spot that I wanted it, and it stops at that spot. To clear that tab, you just flip this down to the minus sign like that, and it doesn't have any tabs. I'm just going to reset one right here. This is your carriage lock. So if you have one of these and you can't figure out why the carriage won't move, this is why. Right here. Just flip that down like that, and it frees up the carriage. Hood opens up like a car hood. All the brand new ribbons loaded in the left, so it's pulling clockwise to the right. You want to switch that direction behind either one of the spools on the one that you want it to go to. You just flip that ribbon guide and it to the right or to the whatever direction it'll let you, and it pulls counterclockwise. Same concept with this one. You push it to the left and it pulls clockwise to the right. That's the direction we want it to go. This is your touch control. So there's a plus and a minus sign. Plus is down. What that does is it loads a spring that's connected to all the keys, and it just increases the tension. So you just want to mess with that to gauge what touch control you like. I've had people comment saying that they have a typewriter that they couldn't really type good on it until they figured out how to use the touch control, and then once they did that, it was much better. On the right side of the carriage is, on the top side here, is the carriage release. Very smooth. This is your paper release. We already used that. This is the button for the paper support arm, and carriage release on the left side. Very nice. If you pull out the knob, it disables the spacing so you can get to an exact spot on the page. You let it go, you get the clicks. Each one of those clicks is a half a space. And the same concept, if you put the line space indicator all the way back, it'll disable the spacing. Put it on the one and it click. You get those clicks. Each one of those clicks is a half a space. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.